fantasy, caught in a landslide, no escape from reality.
Hey guys, Underground Geek here. Are y'all ready for something so cringy that your head's gonna implode? Alright, let's get ready. So this is Squirrel Girl issue 27. And I don't really know what this is. It's definitely not a Marvel comic. This feels like a fan fiction or one of those YA novels that would be like for free on one of the forums on like Reddit or one of those fan fiction sites, and people's just like, please read my stuff, please read my stuff. And then you're like, oh god, okay. And then you read it and then you just feel really bad for them. You just say, it's really good. Yeah, you should keep trying. It's not even that good. See this cover here? See the cover? See all the stuff in this cover? Yeah, none of that happens. None of that happens. They literally just threw everything that they could think of in a comic book on the cover. They said, hey, you know who's also in space? Like Nova. You know who else is in space? Like that Russian dog astronaut. Wouldn't that be super cool? You know who else is in space? Mojo. Let's put him on the cover. You know who else is in space? Beta Ray Bill. Yeah, you know Beta Ray Bill. Everybody, you know, that character that nobody likes but everybody pretends to like. Yeah. And let's have Squirrel Girl like riding on Silver Surfer's surfboard, but we'll have him like riding upside down on it, and she'll be like sitting on it. Wouldn't that be super cool, guys? That'd be super cool. Yeah, it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Also, they totally messed themselves up because on the little dress work that they have on the comic book to the left there with Squirrel Girl's head on the ribbon, they drew her like a girl. And then they draw this Squirrel Girl like a autistic cave woman. So, tell me where the disconnect is there. But anyway, so we moved to like the, I don't know if you'd really call it the title page, but it is. And it's basically one of those that's supposed to look like a DM page or like a retarded Twitter page or something. And they have this stupid conversations on here, and I don't know who thought that this was a good idea to do, but it's so dumb. Like, if you get down here at the bottom, they make fun of themselves because basically they're saying maybe we could put like a dust cover on these books and people would think they were very interesting when we're reading something stupid. And I was like, yeah, you should do that to your own books, because you know you're making fun of your own books. It's like, hey, let's put like an old a Hulk, World War Hulk cover on this book for Squirrel Girl, and people think that we're actually reading comic books when we're not. So we start out this page and we already get to bad art. We have her friend, I think her name is Nancy, and she looks like a man. Everything about that looks like a man to me. And then we have Squirrel Girl, and it's pretty obvious that they just draw both the characters the same and they just color one of them darker than the other. But the first dialogue is Squirrel Girl talking to her squirrel. And explain to me, when did the squirrels start talking real words? They always said cheat 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 cheat, and then she just knew what they were saying, like Luke Skywalker and R2-D2. That was fun. Now you have them actually talking in squirrelanese, which is not a thing, and it's just really embarrassing and cringy. But anyway, she says, so hey, remember when we met Galactus on the moon, Tippy? Haha, you sure do. Yeah, good times, good times. Tell me your favorite part. All of it, I guess. And then she says, oh yeah, it was great. Sometimes I sit back and reminisce about it, going over exactly what was said and done in chronological order. Hey, do you know what would be fun if we did that right now together? Ha ha ha. So basically, they had this stupid trope going on to where everybody keeps asking Nancy about how to defeat Galactus. And she goes to Bagel Haven, which is a place where she goes and gets her bagels and coffee and stuff, and they're doing the same thing. They're asking her these questions all over again, and then it pops up on TV that they're talking about top 10 fights, Squirrel Girl and Galactus and all this garbage. And then she goes to her college class, and the teachers are asking her on the physics test how to defeat Galactus. And so then she knows that something's kind of up at this point. So basically she just yells at everybody on the street, "Hey, who wants to hear about defeating Galactus on the moon?" And everybody's like, "Yeah, me. And everybody just keeps harassing her. Squirrel Girl jumps out of a window because, Squirrel Girl's an idiot. She's squirrely. And so then she's also asking about it. And then at that point, Nancy has had enough. She's like, I ain't doing it. And then Squirrel Girl's just like, "That's it, fine, shut it down." And then everybody goes away as a hologram, and all that's left are these green little squirrels. And guess what? They're alien squirrels, because that's a thing. They're green alien squirrels. So then basically what they're telling her is, "Hey, we're from planet Chrt. Chrt, because that's what squirrels, the sound that squirrels make. Ha ha ha! Isn't that funny? Ha 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 ha! No, it's not." So then they're telling her, "Hey, Galactus is coming to our planet. We basically took you from Earth because we need your help on how to defeat Galactus." And Nancy's like, "Why are you picking me?" And they said, "Well, we thought you were Squirrel Girl. We got you by accident." And so then we go back to Earth. And Squirrel Girl is still being embarrassed, and she's just jumping out of the air for no reason. She lands and talks to the squirrels like humans, and she goes through these facts of what we know about Nancy missing. We're looking for Nancy. We've got every squirrel in 500 miles looking for her, and she keeps randomly just jumping through the air for no reason. I mean, it's the stupidest thing. And so then they make some kind of trope about the squirrels all want, they want to be her favorite squirrel, so they make these things about, "See that? She said I'm a star." And then he says, "We're all stars, Renee. Gosh." And then we get to a semi-funny part right here. You can tell that, if you throw enough at the wall, eventually something may stick, and it's going to be very sad, but it may be slightly funny. Basically, she goes around to every cat themed superhero or villain to find out if they can talk to her cat to find out where Nancy went. Oh God. So basically she goes around to everybody, and here's what I want to point out here. Okay, so they intentionally draw Squirrel Girl ugly, but if you look at Tigra and you look at Black Cat, they're drawn femininely like women. They're drawn like women. So that kind of makes me wonder here, because they can draw Black Cat as a female, but you can't draw Squirrel Girl to where she looks like a female. Yeah, so that should tell you right there that what they're doing is intentional. And then we get this part here where she's asking everybody about how to talk to cats, and she goes to Beast, and we get this conversation here where he says, "I may have cat-like fur on my current mutation, child, but I cannot speak to them." And then he goes on talking about this very detailed conversation, and they just completely cut off the conversation in the box. And I know what they're doing. They think it's funny to just cut it off like he was rambling, when they're not really paying attention. But that looks really stupid. That you should have just had him talking, and then the words start turning into nothing, and then just turn into dots and go off, and you have Squirrel Girl rolling her eyes. That would have been funnier than this garbage right here. So then she goes to Howard Duck, because Howard the Duck has a cyborg cat, and the cyborg cat tells her to go see the Sorcerer Supreme. So she goes to the Sorcerer Supreme's Sanctorum, and the way to find that, she Googled the address, and it came up with Yelp reviews. And the reviews, they got some reviews by Baron Mordo, Nightmare, and Ghost Rider. And Ghost Rider's complaint was there's no motorcycle parking. Oh my God, guys. So then she says, "Oh, well, this must be the place." No joke. So she knocks on the door, and the Sorcerer Supreme comes out, but instead of being Doctor Strange, it is Loki Lafayson. Because they're doing that thing now to where, Loki's Sorcerer Supreme for some reason. And he comes out looking retarded. And then his first words after introducing himself is, "Oh snap, it's Squirrel Girl, what up? Oh, and you brought a cat. Oh my god." So then we cut back to Planet Chrt, and it's 5 days ago. So then this is basically Silver Surfer showing up. But it's still Silver Surfer showing up all ominously on his surfboard, telling them that they're about to die. They literally play on the trope of what if Silver Surfer was a surfer bro and talked like a bro. So he says, "What it is, Squirrel Bros, the Silver Surfer in his house. Holla." Oh my god. So basically he brings all of his other bros with him. One of them has a huge tiger tattoo on his chest for some reason. And the Silver Surfer's head gets lumpier as we get into each... I mean, he's got all these weird lumps on his head for no reason. And so basically he tells them, hey, you know, Galactus is coming. You've got one or two options. Either you can stay here and get eaten, or you can give us all your gold and jewels and I'll tell him to go eat somewhere else. And you know, that may have been cool if you hadn't made him totally stupid. And let's read what the comments at the bottom of the page is. "The Silver Surfer is much hunkier than you may have been expecting. I don't know what to tell you. I guess it's time to accept the new and hunkier world without question." So then they leave, and here's what the squirrels have to say. They say, "But our planet doesn't have any gold and jewels. We're blessed only with nuts and bodies that evolve together, store, and later on consume delicious nuts. We're doomed." And he says, no, listen to me, my brethren." And literally the squirrel has a gold necklace on him as he's saying they don't have any gold or jewels. And so then he's saying, you know, basically, the only way to save ourselves is to go talk to Squirrel Girl. So that's when they had kidnapped Nancy by mistake. And then Nancy's sitting there looking exactly like a man. And so then this, I got to tell you, one of the serious things that bothers me about this comic is all of the dialogue. Look at all of the talking in this comic. Nothing happens, and there's so much talking. This is a YA novel to a T. It's people that don't know how to interact with other people and just go on these wild paragraph tangents just talking about nothing. And this goes on and on and on. And then we cut back to Squirrel Girl and Loki. And Squirrel Girl is trying to find Nancy. She needs his help. We go through all this, which means nothing. And then we get to the most cringy part that people have been talking about in the news here lately. He changes Squirrel Girl's clothing to look more space Asgardian or whatever. I don't really get it. And then he says, right, this is why you get a gender fluent demigod to be your fashion designer. I know what works. Okay, so just stand still in that casting circle. This may tingle a little bit. And hey, say hi to Nancy for me. The fact is, they want to destroy these characters. And I'll go into that more in a minute, but let's keep going. So basically, then for no reason, Dormammu shows up because we have to use every big name character that you've ever heard of because they don't know anything else to do in these situations. And that's it. That's the end of the comic book. But let's go back to this comic and what it really means. This is obviously intentional. The artist has more ability than this. The writers have more ability than this. Well, that may not be true, but I know that at least the artist does. The fact is, they're doing this on purpose. They're trying to write these characters in this way to bring a different demographic to read comics, and they're just not there. The sales for Squirrel Girl is abysmal. It's not working. If you're selling a sandwich at Burger King and it's not selling, they drop it. They don't keep making it. If the Big Mac stopped selling, they would find something else. I mean, it's just, it doesn't really make sense. I don't understand the theme work here. That they don't know what they're doing, and they're just throwing things in there that aren't real. And then you take Loki, which has never been this way ever, and you turn him into a gender fluent, effeminate weird character. He is the god of mischief, and he's also had no problem ever finding women. He's that bad guy. And then you've got him as this weird gender fluent character, which means nothing. And he could be gender fluent, but then you write him effeminate, which has never been a characteristic of the character ever. It doesn't matter if that's the way that gender fluid people are. You're writing the character differently than he's been before. You don't know the character, obviously, because you're not taking care of the character. And you're doing the same thing with Squirrel Girl. And you're drawing them bad on purpose, because they're drawing squirrels. They can draw squirrels, but you can't draw people. I don't buy that for a second. And then you have this stupid story of these green alien squirrels. Like this is supposed to be something funny and clever, and it's just idiotic and stupid. And this is one of the reasons that I haven't really talked about Squirrel Girl up until now. It's just that it doesn't deserve to be talked about. But I'm going to put this out in there in the open and let you see what's going on. This is the same thing they do in every comic that they're doing now. They take these characters and they make them stupid, and then they have them fight Galactus. Or they have them fight Doctor Doom. Or they have them fight Dormammu. It's all these big name characters because it's the only ones that they can think of. And they don't actually have them doing anything. They just show up and they're awesome. And that's it. And then you have this cover that has Beta Ray Bill on it for no reason. It has Mojo on it for no reason. It has, I think that's the one above all, I think at the bottom of the screen, I'm not sure. It may be the people from that Silver Surfer run. I can't remember, but the last Silver Surfer run where they showed up and it was like two entities. And I can't remember that may be one of them there. But, I mean, I don't know, guys. It's so cringy. And then they have this title page where they're having a discussion, basically like a text amongst each other. It's so stupid. I mean, this is not Marvel. It's not. It's something else. They're trying to change Marvel into something else, and it's really sad because there's a lot of people out there that want Marvel to do good, and you're totally trying to sabotage it, and it needs to stop. These people need to go. These alt-life fake robot humans need to go somewhere else because this is not working. But that's all I got to say. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Now, I'm also having a special live stream this Thursday at 7 p.m. It's going to be a start of a new type of live stream that I'm going to try to do once a week. And it's going to be called the He-Man Woman Haters comic discussion. And before you start going, what? It's going to be a different type of live stream. I've seen an all-girls live stream before with a couple of my friends, and I thought, wouldn't it be fun to do an all-guys live stream where you talk about guy stuff in comics, discussions that you might have amongst guys, regular people that actually like comics. You know, not the low-T people that are trying to get involved in comics, regular people that talk about things like, well, you know that new Zatanna movie's coming out. Who would you want to be cast as that? Oh, well, you know, I'd want to have somebody like Olivia Wilde in that. I like her. Or I'd like to have somebody like so-and-so in that, you know, Kate Beckinsale, or, you know, just somebody random like that. Okay, that's cool. Well, hey, did you read the latest Despicable Deadpool comic book? You know, things like that. Actual real discussions. So, yeah, I hope you guys are able to come. It's going to be Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central Time on my YouTube channel. So I'll talk to you guys later. Feel free to support me on my Maker Support. It's going to go towards my new comic, The Ghost. But I'll talk to you guys later. Underground Geek out.